He has had a 6-decade-long career in the rock and roll business, so you can bet that musician Jimmy Ryan has a few stories to tell.
Yeah, he's a friend of ours.
Yeah,
he's been on this
really
show
cool.
a few times. He last actually appeared on the show 2020, as right before we knew of any kind of pandemic. Early on in 2020 was the last time he was here. He's the lead singer of the group The Hitmen, and that's why he was on our show to promote a show that they were doing.
And it's so much fun to talk to. I mean, he's collaborated with some of the best musicians like Elton John and The Doors and Paul McCartney, among just a few. He spent 21 years with Carly Simon as her guitar player.
Now he's sharing never-heard stories from all the epic years in his new autobiography called Behind, Autobiography of a Musical Shapeshifter.
So Rachel Anderson sat down with Jimmy to learn a little bit more about this new venture.
6 decades of packed shows and #1 hits.
I had calendars going back to the early 60s with things that I had done. I kept record.
But off the records and behind the scenes with musical icons like Carly Simon, Elton John, and Paul McCartney, a lot happened that the world never knew about, like this.
I slammed the door in his face. He was so rude and so pushy. And I turn around and Carly's looking at me like, what? She says, do you have any idea who that was? I said, uh-oh, I think you're about to tell me. She goes, that was Warren Beatty. I went, oh, no! And it is my contention that that was the birth of You're So Vain. She hasn't said yes, she hasn't said no, but it was perfect because he was being so vain. And, you know, that's the kind of stories that win.
Jimmy Ryan has lived quite the life, a life he has now written down in his new book called Behind, Autobiography of a Musical Shapeshifter.
I wrote this book called Behind because a buddy of mine said, that's what you do. You're like behind people all the time. It's stories about people you know, but that you've never heard before.
The book takes you back in time, backstage, for the revealing, sometimes hilarious, sometimes tragic tales of successes and setbacks. From panicking in a prison with his bandmates to a trip to the Playboy Mansion.
It was as bizarre as it gets. It was not what we thought it was going to be. And it's in the book. You're going to have to read it.
Behind is on sale now worldwide at all major bookstores. Reporting for More in the Morning, Rachel Anderson, ABC 7.
I'm breaking down the best moments from the new Beatles documentary with a little help from director Peter Jackson. That's coming up.